What up, this your boy Lil Durk, man. Shout out DJ Jerry, man. Always from Shy Rack. You know I'm fucking doing gang shit. Gang.
You already know what the fuck it is, man. DJ Jerry, aka the voice of the streets, aka take your girl, play with her pearl, man. We still doing that shit, bitch. You already know what the fuck it is. DJ Jerry, man. It's that motherfucking Mixtape Trappers Radio, and right now, I got Shepherd Express in the building, man. Evan, what's happening?
Hey, Jerry, how's it going?
All right, man. Hey, but for the people that don't know you, let them know who you are and what you do.
Yeah, my name is Evan Rytlewski. I'm the music editor for the Shepherd Express. I've been covering music there for 12 years now. Been there a long time. Cover a lot of rap, cover a lot of everything. I also do some freelancing. I write a lot for Pitchfork, big music sites. So,
okay.
Yeah, a little bit here, a little bit there.
Okay. Yeah, but how you get hooked up with Shepherd Express?
I grew up in Milwaukee.
Okay.
So I kind of grew up reading The Shepherd and wanting to write music. So went to college, graduated, was in journalism and looking for a job, and I found a good one. Writing about music is a good way to make a living.
Right.
Yeah,
that's dope. Yeah, but how hard is it to like keep like readers interested in this like video era we got now? Like, cause it's like everybody want to see you, they want something to see. Like, so how hard is it to keep them interested?
I mean, honestly, it's easier now. When I started like 12 years ago, like YouTube was there, but it wasn't big.
Right.
Like artists didn't have their music online to stream. So you'd be like literally writing about artists and like people couldn't hear them.
Wow.
So you'd just be like writing in print, like take my word, it's really good.
Right.
Like, if you like it, you got to go out and buy it. It's $12. You know what I mean? Like the buy-in used to be so much more for the reader.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, you get the album right away, you get the video right away. Like it's a lot more satisfying.
Right. Yeah, but when did you start with the Milwaukee Roundup articles?
Yeah, I've been writing about Milwaukee rap pretty much since I've been at the Shepherd.
Okay.
But the rap scene was way different 12 years ago.
Most definitely was.
The stuff that was buzzing was really different. Huge parts of it were really cut off from me. Like, a lot of what was going on the north side was just a mystery. You know, you'd like hear stray club tracks or like you'd get a mixtape or something.
Yeah.
But like finding it was like a lot harder. So yeah, it used to be, you know, I would just write about like the east side stuff, the alternative stuff, and I still do. But yeah, these last couple of years, it's been a lot easier writing about like what's actually happening.
Right,
You know,
right.
Like I feel a little more plugged in just because it's actually easier to discover more music right now.
Right, and there's a lot more people trying to rap and get into music too.
I mean, there's
A lot.
infinite. It's like the number of people rapping in the city. I think there's like 600,000 people in the city, and I think like 800,000 of them rap. It's like nuts. How many like people don't even know until you like really crawl through SoundCloud pages, YouTube pages, and like I get all the emails from them. Like everybody's rapping. It's crazy. So it's really infinite. It's just a matter of like how much can I hear, and of course how much is worth listening to.
Right. Yeah, but how do you find like the artist? Like, how does the artist stand out to you?
Yeah, well, a lot of them come to me. Like, I get a lot of emails, and I check out everything I'm emailed. So like, I am listening, and I surf the internet a lot. Check out YouTube. YouTube is like obviously where a lot of the music is right now, especially in Milwaukee. Like I always tell people, like rap is a really visual medium right now, especially in Milwaukee. It's not just, you know, like for a lot of big artists in the city right now, like, you know, iTunes and Spotify are afterthoughts. That's just not where they get their audience. It's like on YouTube. So I surf the big channels of the, you know, this big 4 or 5 like channels of the videographers. I surf those. I'll literally surf tags for Milwaukee, like on SoundCloud, on Bandcamp. Just sort of like hoping I find that gem. Right. And sometimes you do, you know, like it's infinite. Like the more you dig, the more you find.
Right. Yeah, but even if it's just a music opinion, like, do you like kind of watch how you criticize artists, or you just go with the flow?
You know, I'm not there to like take down artists.
Right.
If an artist sucks, and a lot of them do, I don't need to like shame them by being like, whoa, check out how shitty this is.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's shitty, you just don't write about it. You know what I mean? Like so many of the rappers aren't doing it very seriously anyway.
Right.
And the ones that are, like, they need time to get better. Like every artist wants to email me and like get that write-up like the moment their first single drops, like, come on, I'm doing this. It's big. And it's like, no, it's not. And it's just not ready. Like it might be in 2 years, right? Like take some time, like get a little better at what you're doing, establish your own voice. Like when you think about like your first effort at anything, it's kind of embarrassing half the time. You don't like want it out there. So like, I think artists get frustrated with me sometimes because they're like, oh man, he's ignoring me. He won't respond. Like, and it's like, no, I'm listening, and I'm not trying to like dismiss anybody, but like, you know, they just need some time. Just need some time.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard for like you as a writer and me as a DJ. It's hard to tell somebody like, dude, your shit trash, bro. Like it's just hard, like because they don't get it because they think you automatically hating on it because you don't like their music.
It's personal or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried it once. I had this one guy who was like hounding me, and I was like, all right, man, I'll be honest. I don't like your music. If you really want that objective critique of why I don't like your music, I'll do it. You know, he's like, yeah, I do. Just write about me honestly. And I did, and you know, it was like an interesting experiment, and then he just still kept emailing me like, write about me. I still get emails from that guy.
That's crazy.
And
should have blocked his ass.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of sad. I mean, I wish I could like. I don't want to break anybody's dreams, but also like I can't lie.
You're right, for real. Yeah, but like, do you accept like people like say, hey, Evan, I'm blah blah blah. Can you write about me? Like, can people get articles like that? Or?
Oh yeah, it happens all the time. Like people email me. You can email me. I'm on social media. Don't contact me on Facebook. Right. But you can tweet at me or otherwise just email me. My address is on the Shepherd Express website. It's Evan at Shepex SHEPEX.
Yeah.
.com. Shoot me an email. I honestly listen to everything I get.
Let's get it. Yeah, but one of the articles that stood out to me, like when you wrote about Guwap and you wrote about We Up Next, and you mentioned the plug walk similarities. Like
I've heard a couple songs do the plug walk thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of tacky, but We Up Next pull it off because they pull off everything.
Yeah, oh yeah, We Up Next, they be going crazy.
But I've heard a couple like maybe they like unintentionally lift the plug walk melody or like at least like We Up Next was like doing it deliberately and having some fun with it.
Yeah, they definitely was. Yeah, but how do you feel about like the media like promoting trolling, like trolls, like Tekashi and the Baby, like people like that? Like, how do you feel like as a writer?
Yeah, I mean, I hate it.
Yeah.
It's a problem. I don't think thankfully it's not a problem in Milwaukee. I don't see like too bad in Milwaukee, like people trolling just for attention.
It's a couple. I ain't gonna say their name because they hoes.
People will like, I'll see people like pick beef or something with somebody. They'll try to like punch up and get some attention doing that. That's a shitty thing to do too.
Most definitely.
But like what Tekashi was doing was like on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
You know, this idea that you just live the worst life you're possible of living and get rewarded with so much attention for it, and that's your career. That's a bad model.
That's bad. Then you get into it with everybody. Then you hire the top flight security.
Yeah, I mean,
and then tell.
Look, he got off easy. Like his story could have ended a lot worse. Than it did. Like he deserved what he got, but like at least he's like still alive.
Yeah, yeah. But you already know what it is, man. We about to play a game, man.
Oh, all right.
We about to play a game, man. This shit is called the Big Guys Box, man. I know Evan probably ain't seen this, man, but you get 60 seconds with the box.
All right.
But you got to answer each question in the box in 20 seconds or less. You ready?
Okay, all right.
All right, come on, let's get it. What's the first one say?
Top 5 favorite hip-hop magazines of all time.
Yeah.
Are there 5? There's The Source. There's XXL.
Yeah.
There's I used to write for Wrap Up, so I'm biased in favor of Wrap Up. What are the other ones? I don't know. Those are the 3 I read.
3 to read. That's it.
Yeah, I was never like subscribed to the magazines, I guess.
Right. Okay.
All right,
now let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one, man.
I'm not gonna answer that.
We gotta read it. What that was say? You can at least read it, man.
All right. When was the last time you doubled back in some pussy? I'm above that. I'm sorry. I'm above this one too. I'm glad I grabbed the first one.
Right.
Who would you rather babysit, your daughter, Steven Tyler, or R. Kelly? You know, I'm not gonna answer that.
Right.
It's a horrible proposition.
Right, because both of them fucked up. Right. Hey, but what do you think about the alleged victims coming out about R. Kelly and Michael Jackson and stuff like right now?
I mean, I stand unequivocally with the victims. That's my thing. Like, I will cancel an artist. That's my thing. Like,
right.
I know you probably have a different like angle on that. I know a lot of listeners do.
Yeah.
But if it feels gross listening to him, I'll cancel him. Like R. Kelly was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I actually, and I'm kind of ashamed of it, I interviewed R. Kelly a couple years ago.
Oh, really?
And this was too late to justify. Like, obviously, we didn't know as much about what we know about him then as we do now.
Yeah.
But we knew enough back then that we shouldn't have been supporting him and I shouldn't have been supporting him. So I feel really guilty about that. So since that happened, I've actually sort of like, look, if I know an artist is an abuser, I'm quick to cancel them. Like, there should be some accountability in this industry. So I don't want to feel gross about the artists I listen to. MJ is sort of different because he's dead, and it's just, for me, it's not as personal, but like, I wouldn't feel good listening to him either. The Dream, one of my all-time favorite singers, he's got some shit in his record that just, even though nobody else writes about it, it makes me queasy. And, you know, so like, I hear The Dream on a record, I go, oh, you know, like, I just don't want to think about that. You know what I mean? Like, I like to support music by people who aren't terrible. You know? So if I know them to be terrible, like, makes me feel better not listening.
Right. Yeah, but, you know, people in my community, they say, like, oh, yeah, man, there's plenty of white motherfuckers that had sex with underage women, and they still out here.
Yeah, I mean, every artist from the 70s. Like, in the 70s, like, there was no accountability. And it's true, and that's how I used to justify my support of a lot of artists. We call it whataboutism, this idea that, like, if you attack an artist, you can attack any artist, but what about this artist? What about David Bowie? What about John Lennon? Well, that's true. You know, like, that is a double standard. I don't feel good listening to some of their stuff either. So it does go both ways. If you entrench yourself with that, like, what about mentality, then nothing changes. So at some point, like, you have to say, all right, we want to change something. And you have to understand it's not going to be perfect. There's always going to be, like, some double standard, some artists held to account more than others, sometimes in ways that just aren't fair. But you got to start somewhere. That's my attitude. So I'm just trying, like, as a listener, try to do the best that I can, just, like, start with some accountability.
Right, exactly. Yeah, but in 2019, do you think white privilege still exists?
Yeah. I mean, in every form, Yeah, that was a big thing. Initially, I mean, it's not a coincidence that it was black artists getting called out and not white artists. You know, like, with R. Kelly, like, I mean, we've learned so much more about how terrible his abuse was. But you're right. There was a reason we were hearing about his crimes before we were hearing about similar things that white artists.
Exactly. But yeah, man, me and you, we was just about to talk about the Fast Cash babies when you came in. I wanted to say it for the interview, man. Like, when I read your article on it, I was like, dude, I felt the same exact way. Like, when I heard that, I automatically knew it was a hit. And it ain't like that with every song in Milwaukee.
No. Or like, I'll like a song. I mean, I like a lot of songs.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, yeah, this is great. But that idea that, like, this should be on the radio right now.
For real.
I wish V100 supported a little more. I think they do.
Oh, shit. Damn.
Do you
my
agree
throat,
with me?
bro. Damn.
They're better than they used to be. Like, they do that, like, Saturday night thing. That's okay.
It's like 1 hour.
It's like 1 hour. DJO started throwing some local tracks in his mixes. I love DJ. I went to high school with DJO, so I'm biased. So I'm biased. Oh, okay. But you know, they're throwing some stuff in, and every time I hear, like, all racks in one of the mixes, I'm like, yes, more of this, more of this. And that Fast Cash Babies, that's like maybe the first Milwaukee song I've heard where I'm like, this should be in regular rotation. Every hour and a half, people should be hearing that. Like, that track seems like it could be huge.
Yeah, I see that track going viral. Like, man, Chicken Pig, he on his way home too. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and that's the thing. It needs a video. Like, because, like, just like we were saying, like, it's such a visual medium. I don't know how many, like, views that has now. What, 200,000, 300,000?
Yeah, and just the audio.
Just on audio. And it's like, once that gets a video, oh, man.
That's hitting 1 million.
Yeah.
Like, off top.
Yeah, easily. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But as far as in your opinion, like, what artists do you think the people should keep their eyes open for 2019?
Yeah, a lot of the guys you've had on the show, like Veli Vel, love him. The New Little Action, is awesome.
I just had Action yesterday.
Oh, nice. Yeah, he's great. Yeah. MT Twins, they just dropped a new album. It's beautiful. Like, those guys, the songwriting that they do. I mean, it's just so personal. Like, you know, like a lot of rap, you get the sense there's, like, some filler in there.
Right.
Man, you get the sense, like, every bar from those guys is, like, just, like, something they experience, something they, like, feel. That's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Guapo Chapo, obviously. Like, he's so funny. His flow is so loose. Yeah. Like, that's the guy where it's like, man.
Yeah.
There's like a dozen other ones, though. I mean, like, there's so many acts, like, making, Jig, Looney. I mean, you could just go on. Like, so many acts doing, like, big music where you're like, whoa, like, these guys, they could do it. They're doing it for real.
For real.
And this is like, what, 12 years ago when I was doing this job, nobody was really doing it for real. Like, people wanted to. Like, everybody was talking, like, Cuckoo Cal. Like, who can be the first Milwaukee rapper, like, since Cuckoo Cal to do it? and nobody got even close. And now there's all these artists, like some of them doing, 1 million views for videos. Some of them doing, how many views do you think across all his videos Chicken had last year? Easily 10 mil across all his tracks. Like
easy.
Those are just huge numbers that they're like is not a precedent for in the city. Right. It's wild. Like we're in uncharted territory for Milwaukee. Like Milwaukee has never had this kind of prominence in this rap scene.
Never. And that's what I told, me and Chopper was talking about that too. I was like, man, this is the best Milwaukee era of rap music. Like it's by far the best, man.
Yeah.
So, but like, who do you think can compete like with the top artists right now? Like, who from the city you think can compete like with the mainstream artists?
Like artistically, or like just or to like actually market them? Because that's the challenge. Like, it's tricky, man. There's a lot of rappers. There's a lot of cities out there. Every city has some talent, Who can compete? I feel like Chicken is just on the pulse, just like we're talking about. Like, I feel like he could do it. I feel like Chapo, man. He's so good. Like you just hear him. You just want to you just want to share it. You just hear it. Like you hear that bar and you just want to like tweet out the bar.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so good. You're like, does that play nationally? Yeah, I mean, I think so. Like I'd put all the guys I mentioned like on par with like a lot of what's coming out of Atlanta. Like maybe not the mega stars, even though some of these dudes are really big personalities.
Yeah.
Like it used to be Milwaukee rappers were like kind of anonymous.
Yeah.
Just kind of like, even if they had some talent. Well, these guys are like, what they're about, like what their sound is, what their image is, like, the feel, the vibe you're going to get out of them. That's what it takes to be a star. Like they all have that like star power. So yeah, I mean, what does it take? I don't know. Just keep doing it. Like, just kind of hope. Like, I mean, every time I talk to a rapper in the city, I mean, they tell me, at least the ones doing numbers, they tell me like those numbers aren't just coming from the city. Like it's people outside of Milwaukee listening. And that's what's also unprecedented is this idea that like there's a market for Milwaukee rap.
Right.
You know what I mean? That like it's a commodity that like other cities want. And so that's why I think they should just like stay the course. Like there's times where I see these rappers and I'm like, it looks like they're doing everything wrong. Like they just like their social media is wrong. Like they're hard to get in touch with. Like the music isn't available where it should be. Like all these like basic like artist A&R like 101 they get wrong. But it's also like you can't correct them because the numbers speak for themselves. You know what I mean? Like they're doing it and it's working for them. So it's like I don't even want to like give advice to them because it's like what you're doing. Like you are finding your audience. You're doing it.
You already know what it is, man. DJ Jerry, a.k.a. the voice of the streets. You already know what it is, man. Mixtape Trappers Radio, Shepherd Express. Evan, what's happening?
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.